It's been 5 years since I received my very first credit card, and it's been 3 years since I last showcased my credit card strategy. So since then, I've gotten many more cards if you've been following my channel, done unboxing and reviews on all of them. But now I think I'm very close to my optimal cashback strategy, where I can earn 5x cashback on most of my big spending. In this video, I'll be talking about my current strategy as well as how I manage all 16 of my credit cards, what I use each of them for, and potential future strategy. And as usual, if you're interested in applying for any of the cards that I mentioned in this video, definitely check out the description. Full disclosure, some of them may be referral links, but they don't hurt you whatsoever. I'd appreciate if you use them. It'll help me a little bit. And you also may get a higher sign-up bonus through referral links versus a public offer. So this is my current overall strategy. Previously, if you watched my other video, I was prioritizing cards with referral bonuses, and particularly Chase cards, because of their 524 rule, otherwise known as you cannot open more than 5 new accounts within the past 24 months. So because of that strict rule, I was prioritizing those Chase cards, and predominantly the cards I was applying to are from major banks and issuers. I also tried to target high cashback percentage cards for the typical high spend categories like, groceries, restaurants, gas. I also wanted to get groups of cards in the same family that have good reward systems going, and also if they have the ability to convert the cashback into points for travel, that's also a bonus. So for example, the Chase Ultimate Rewards points, the Citi Thank You points, and I try to take advantage of the additional cashback that they may offer. It's not as on the front page of their application as much, and these are called the merchant offers. So folks like Chase, Amex, Citi all have some pretty good merchant offers. So in addition to what I can normally earn in their bonus categories, I was able to onesie twosies pick up on additional cashback in this manner. Normally, I don't like to go for anything that has an annual fee, but if they do, I look for a downgradable path in case that after year one, after I get that sign-up bonus, it's not as valuable anymore to me, then I can downgrade it to a no annual fee card. So that was my general overall thought process when applying for cards. Now, how do I manage all 16 cards that I currently own? Well, I definitely don't carry all of them on my person at all times. The ones I do keep in my wallet here, this is an accordion wallet. I'll put the product link in the description where you guys can pick it up on Amazon if you guys are interested. But I usually only keep 5 physical cards on me at a time. Other cards that I may use, I would put in my digital wallet. And then ones that are pretty much online only cards and stuff that I don't really use, then I put it in my quote-unquote sock drawer. After a few product changes, I do have some duplicate cards, so I don't always use the same card every quarter. I do take advantage of those rotating quarterly category cards, which I'll be discussing in just a minute. So which cards stay in my wallet and which cards are in my sock drawer kind of change every 3 months. I think one of the key things to keep in mind when you do have as many cards as me, or if you're going for a very cash-specific credit card strategy, is to make sure you are aware of all the benefits and key cashback earning categories that each card offers. So personally, I like to go the digital route, so I use the Notes app on my phone, and I also have a Mac, so that also synchronizes together so I can view the features and benefits of my card both at home and also on the go. If you're not in the Apple ecosystem, you can of course find the equivalent Notes app on your device that can also be viewable on your computer. I would just recommend something that synchronizes so you don't have to worry about updating the same list in multiple places. And I also like to stay away from like the paper or post-it note strategy, just because that changes too much and you'll be going through a lot of post-it notes. Not to mention if you have a long list of cards like I do, it will be a little bit difficult to manage. Another good habit to get into to manage your cards is to set up reminders. So I like to again use the Reminders app on my phone, which also synchronizes to my Mac. I have a reminder for the beginning of every month to recheck which card I'm using for which category, to rearrange my card arrangement in my wallet and maybe adjust things in my digital wallet. And I also take the opportunity to redeem any cash back that I've earned so far on certain cards, and I'll discuss a little bit later which cards I immediately redeem my cash back for and which ones I wait longer or hold off a little bit longer. But then I also have another reminder for every 3 months, one of which is to activate my quarterly rotating categories on the applicable cards. So for example, for the Chase Freedom lineup, you can activate the categories only up to 15 days before the next quarter starts. Discover it's a little bit earlier, and so for the US Bank cash cards, but I set it basically on the Freedom timeline so I can activate everything all at once. And also every 3 months, I check my sock drawer cards, ones that I haven't really been spending on, and make a very small purchase, such as using Amazon Balance Reload, just reload $1 to those cards that I haven't been using, just to make sure my account is active and doesn't give credit issuers a reason to close my account due to inactivity. And I also do check online to see if there's some new card that is worth applying for. Maybe there is a much higher sign-up bonus for a card that I'm potentially interested in. Then I go ahead and apply for that card. Something that I also like to do is to keep track of potential cards I want to apply for it, and I group them in certain categories. So the first category is kind of, I definitely want to get this in the near future. It will be great to add to my arsenal, and I can definitely incorporate it into my current strategy. And then there are the cards that are in generally pretty good, but I probably have a better card that I would normally use anyways, but at least they would have a good sign up offer, so I would still want to keep that card maybe long term, sock drawer it to improve my credit history over time. And then there's also the category of just purely sign up bonuses. If I get, I'm done with my strategy and I just want to go for some easy sign up bonuses, have a nice long list for those. And then I do have a small list of temporarily valuable cards that I can apply for use cases. So if I were to make a big trip or something like that, I may want to plan ahead and apply for a particular travel card or hotel card. But thus far, these are the 16 cards that I own and the approximate timeline of when I applied for them. I also include when they were product changed to a lower tier card, because right now I am pretty much set up with a no annual fee setup except for my Amex BCP, because I got a promo offer to where they waived the annual fee, but otherwise I'm rocking a no annual fee cashback setup right now. Not going to go into why I applied for each one in the time that I did. That's kind of something I discussed more of in my previous video, so you can watch that. But this at least gives you a bird's eye view of when I approximately was able to apply and get approved for which card. So maybe that'll help you plan out which card you may want to start applying for. So now I'm going to go into a little bit more detail of the specificity of the function of each card. So the first category of cards are ones that I use only for one particular purpose. I don't really rotate it out just because they're just very good in one particular category. So for example, the Bank of America customized cash rewards cards, which I use purely to get 3% off online shopping. I use this card along with the website Plastiq to pay my rent. And if you guys aren't aware of Plastiq, it's a really great way for you to pay large purchases using your credit card where you normally could not, such as rent and mortgage and a number of other things. So it's great also to hit those large minimum spend requirements to get those sign up bonuses. So if you're interested, definitely sign up using my referral link down below. And I also have my Amex Blue Cash Preferred card, dedicated 6% groceries card. Sometimes use it for transit. It does get 3% back on like parking, tolls, and public transportation. And then I do have my Chase Amazon Prime Rewards Visa Signature card, which I use, of course, on Amazon to get 5% back. Though with Amazon keep on increasing their annual fee on their Prime membership, I'm kind of considering just canceling it since I'm not using Amazon as much as I used to. But let me know what your guys' thoughts is if you still think that the Amazon Prime membership is worth it. But I also have the Amex Hilton Honors card. This is the very baseline of their hotel cards, and as you can imagine, is really only good for Hilton related purchases, though I do sometimes take advantage of Amex's merchant offers, which are actually pretty great. Several times I've gotten streaming service subscriptions completely for free because they reimburse the entire amount, but for the most part I don't use this card very much anymore. And then the next set of cards are the highest maintenance cards, which are my rotating category cards. So right now I have 2 Discover It cards, and I have to switch them out every now and then just to make sure both cards get good use. And a good feature of Discover It is that it has no foreign transaction fees. I also tend to like to keep it on my person and treat it like a debit card if I need to get cash. So I can make a purchase at a particular merchant in store, and I can also request to have cash back, and that's not a cash advance fee, so that's really convenient versus having to carry around a debit card, which can be risky. I also have my Freedom card, so this is the one on the Visa network, the OG, before it became the Freedom Flex on the MasterCard network. And then I do have 2 Freedom Flexes. So between the 3 Freedom cards, I do change them out, of course, every quarter to make sure all of them get used. But again, the preference is with the Flex ones because you also get 3% back at dining. So that's also my preference. So the Freedom card doesn't get much love these days. If one of the categories happens to be wholesale clubs, that's when the Freedom can come out since it's on the Visa network, and Costco only accepts Visa cards in the US. But the card that I use the most as a rotating card is definitely the Citi Custom Cash. This card always stays in my wallet just because it's the card I use to finish up whatever remaining category I don't have 5% back on. So if I have, currently my grocery card is my Blue Cash Preferred. And so then as long as Discover or Chase has one of the, gas or restaurants covered, then I would use my Citi Custom Cash for the third category, or for a completely different category like home improvement stores or something like that, so I can get additional 5x back. So it's a really nice kind of supplementary card. There is a caveat to the custom cash because it does run on the statement cycle versus the calendar month. And I dive into why that's kind of an issue in my full review of the custom cash card. But for the most part, it does work pretty well as a supplementary 5x back card. And then my final 2 rotating category cards are my 2 US Bank Cash Plus cards. I originally only planned to get one of them, but the second one I kind of accidentally applied for when I was going for a US Bank checking account bonus. And then one of the requirements for the checking account to waive the fee is to have one of their credit cards open. And unfortunately, when I was going through the application process, there was no way for me to say that I already have a card with them. So they kind of automatically applied and took a hard inquiry on my credit score and got me a new US Bank Cash Plus card. So here I am with 2 of them, but not complaining because I didn't realize I could actually double down on this card, which is really helpful. I primarily use one card for just online stuff, so like my home utilities and then like internet TV services. And then I also have the other one kind of as a wild card depending on what I expect to spend the next quarter. It could be like electronics or cell phone providers or something like that, furniture stores. So I guess it's a good thing that I got a second US Bank Cash Plus card. So moving on to the next set of cards that I have are for the everything else cards, right? There's always something that you have to spend on that's not going to fit in the general major categories. So that's where I use either my PayPal Cashback MasterCard, which earns 3% on PayPal purchases and also 2% on everything else, no cap. I also do keep my Chase Freedom Unlimited card on me, even though it earns a lower flat rate at 1.5x. But I also like to use it because it's on the Visa network, so wherever MasterCard is not accepted. Plus, it also earns 3x back at restaurants dining, so it's nice when I'm not too sure if a particular vendor, like a street vendor, will actually code as restaurants. Then that way I can at least get 1.5 versus 1x back. And another great thing about Chase is that they have a lot more protection and benefits, such as extended warranty or purchase protection. So I use it for non-categorical big purchase or big spends, so I know that I'm covered, because the Cashback MasterCard from PayPal is a very stripped out, bare bones card with really no benefits. And finally, there is, of course, the standby cards or the sock drawer cards. So I'm pretty good about not having cards that are absolutely useless, with one exception, the TD Bank Cash card, which I got purely for the sign-up bonus. But the other standby cards I usually have are like my Amex BCE card, Blue Cash Everyday card, because normally I don't use it if I'm using my Blue Cash Preferred card. And then, of course, my second Discover It card and any of my Freedom Flex cards that I'm not currently using. But again, I do try to keep them active either by taking advantage of any of their merchant offers or by simply doing a $1 purchase every 3 months using Amazon Reload. And now a note on when do I redeem my cash back or my points. Cards that I like to redeem the cash back pretty much instantly as soon as they're posted are my Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards card and my Amex Blue Cash Preferred or Everyday card, my PayPal Cashback MasterCard, my Chase Amazon Prime Rewards Visa Signature card, my Discover It cards, and my US Bank Cash Plus cards once I hit the $25 minimum redemption threshold. If you notice, the cards I listed have pretty limited redemption options, so usually straight up cashback and statement of credit or deposit into your bank account is the best way to get the most value out of your cashback earnings. In general, I don't recommend using your points to buy merchandise or gift cards because you can always just buy those with your credit card and get cash back on top of those purchases. Only times when those might be a good option is if they have a discount in using your points to purchase those products or gift cards. And then I would almost never recommend using your points as a shop with points method because, again, you can just purchase things with your credit card and get points on top of those purchases. But then for these next set of cards, I tend to keep these points on reserve until I could possibly use them for another purpose, because they can be even more valuable when transferred in certain forms, such as to travel partners, where you can get more than 1 cent per point value redemption. So my Chase UR earning cards, like my Freedom, Freedom Unlimited, and Freedom Flex, and when I used to have the Sapphire cards, I would store up those points in the event that I could eventually transfer them to transfer partners and get even more value. And my Citi Custom Cash card, I save it in its thank you rewards points. And finally, my Amex Hilton Honors card, whose points is not valuable outside of the Hilton network really. So I save them in case I want to use it towards a Hilton property stay. So thank you if you made it this far into my video. I think everything I said could be really helpful for you to build your own cashback strategy. Moving forwards, right now I'm still pretty much focusing on a primarily cashback strategy. So any future applications, unboxing, review videos that you see on my channel will probably be more cashback focused. But in the future, if I do start traveling more, for sure I'll shift to a more points or travel based strategy. And again, if you're interested in adding any of these cards to your arsenal, I do have links down below in the description where you can apply. Some of them are referral links, so do consider using them to help out my channel. I appreciate it a lot. But otherwise, definitely subscribe, like this video for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.